Hey guys, we are continuing the last part of chapter 6. Just talking about more about angles, lines, and transversals. This is an extension of what we kind of introed yesterday. Some markers here. So we've got angles, lines, and transversals. Okay, so these situations occur when we have parallel lines and a transversal. So the parallel lines are obviously right these guys right here. Gosh, that's a terrible way to put those together. Oof, that looks gross. Okay, so those are our parallel lines right here. Right, remember, parallel lines don't touch each other; they don't intersect. And then the line that kind of cuts across them is the transversal, right there. Right, so that's the transversal right there. And so what happens is when we have this particular situation, we have this parallel lines and this transversal, we have a lot of different angle relationships that form, right? Now, we've talked about the word congruent before. It just means like the same measurement, right? So congruent angles just means that they're the same measurement. Okay. And so the idea here, let me write this in a different color, right, is if they look the same, they are the same, right? So if I take a look at this angle here, we know this is obtuse, it's bigger than 90 degrees. Any angle that looks like that is going to be the same measurement. Okay, so this angle is going to be the same measurement as that one, this one to that one. Okay, so those are all congruent angles, right? So if they look the same, they are the same. Okay, as long as your lines are parallel, right? If they look the same, they are the same. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. There's a typo right there. Let me fix that real quick here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so then we have our supplementary angles here. Now, supplementary angles are not the same measurement. These add up to 180. 180. Okay, now supplementary angles are often next to each other. Okay, so it would be like here and here, right? Those are next to each other. They will add up to 180. Like for instance, if this is 30, this is going to be 150. Okay, 30 plus 150 is 180. Okay, and similarly, right, these two would add up to 180. These two would add up to 180. Right, these two would add up to 180. Right, they're all over the place. Another word for supplementary angles, and especially in this these circumstances, is when you have a linear pair, right? So this is when they're next to each other, is when you call them a linear pair. So you have these guys; those are a linear pair. They're next to each other. They add up to 180 degrees. One way to think about this is right. All the way around here would be a circle. Would be 180, right? So this straight line cuts that circle in half, and half of that is 180. So that means that adds up to 180 right there. So that's kind of where that relationship comes from. And again, that same concept right here, right? If they look the same, they are the same. But if they look different, they're supplementary. And actually, let's say congruent up here. If they look the same, they are congruent, right? So if they look different, they are supplementary. Okay, so that's the measurement relationship right there, right? Yeah, I don't know. Right, when they look the same, they are congruent. When they look different, they're supplementary. Yeah. Okay, now these are the angle relationships. This is kind of how we figure them out, right? Or this is what we call them. Let me put that down. So corresponding angle pairs, kind of the best way, I guess, to say this is they're in the same position. So angles that are in the same position. Okay. So something like this. If you choose this one right here, the one that's in the same position is going to be right here, right? If you take a look at this one, it's to the left of the transversal. It's on the top of the parallel line. So if we go down here, right, left of the transversal, top of the parallel line is going to be right there. They're in the same position, right? Other corresponding angle pairs would be here and here, right? Those two, here and here, and then here and here, right? So there are, 4 different ones that are in here, right, that we can do, okay? And are they congruent or supplementary? Well, they look the same to me, so they are congruent, okay? So corresponding angle pairs are always congruent, okay? Alternate interior angle pairs. Now, alternate means the different side of the transversal, so one's on the left, one's on the right, okay? And then interior means they're in between the parallel lines. So this has 2 points. The alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. One's on the left, one's on the right. Okay, and then the other one is inside the parallel lines or between the parallel lines. Got the right smell there. Okay, so between the parallel lines are going to be these 4 angles right here. Okay, and then we have to pick ones that are on opposite sides of the transversal. So let's do kind of this blue one right here. We can choose here. If we start that one, we know that's in between the parallel lines. The one that matches to that for this alternate interior is right here. Okay. The other option, if we did here, would be matching to that one right there. Now, what do you notice about these two? Are they congruent or supplementary? Well, they're both acute angles or angles that are less than 90. So that means they are congruent. They even look the same. I know that one is kind of like rotated around the other one, but yeah. Okay. Now, alternate exterior. So again, opposite sides of the transversal, but instead of being between the parallel lines, they'll be on the outside of the parallel line. Just like exterior paint, you use to paint the outside of your house. These are outside the parallel lines. So opposite sides, that's a mistake, of the transversal. And they are outside the parallel lines. Okay? And let's do this in red, I suppose, to match the colors. Okay, so if I choose, let's say this one right here, I have to go look for the one that is kind of on the opposite side, right? So it would be on the right side of the transversal, and it would be on the outside of the parallel line, so it's going to be right there. And what you'll notice is these are both obtuse angles. They're both larger than 90 degrees. They look the same to me, so they're going to be supplementary. Scratch that. Congruent. They're both obtuse, and they look the same, so they're congruent. Sorry about that. My bad. Caught that one before we went too far. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first 3 relationships we've talked about are all congruent, right? The angles look the same, so they are the same, okay? Angles are in the same position. So again, these are on the same side of the transversal, okay? And then kind of like the same area on the parallel line, okay? Now we move on to the same side pairs. We have same side interior and same side exterior. So same side exterior, we kind of like break it down by the same way, right? We talk about the bullet points right here, like the properties of them, okay? So same side interior, right? These are on the same side of the transversal, okay? And since they're interior, we know that's going to be inside or between the parallel lines. Okay. So same side of the transversal. So let's just do, I don't know, let's just do on the right here. Here, okay. So if we just start here, and remember this is interior, it's in between the parallel lines, okay. The same side is going to be this one right here. So we can see these two right here. So these look different. This is acute, this is obtuse, so they are supplementary to each other. We know they're going to be the add up to 180 because these lines are parallel. Okay, that's the idea there. Okay, last one right here. So same side exterior, so they're going to be same side of the transversal. Okay, and since they're exterior, they'll be outside the parallel lines. Okay, so if we just do this one right here, we go on the left side, the angle is going to be on the corresponding angle of this is going to be on the left side as well. We've got this one and this one. Those are both interior. This one is on the exterior. So we've got these two right here. You can see this is acute, this is obtuse. They are different, but they look different. So they are supplementary. They will add up to 180 degrees. So that those are the kind of the 5 angle relationships you can have here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Example number 1, find unknown angle measurements. Oh, what happened here in the figure? What am I missing there? Oh, it didn't print. That's interesting. Okay. Well, this is A is parallel to B. That's that symbol right there. You can't even see that. Sorry. A is parallel to B. That's what that means. Those two lines, right? What are the measures of? Golly, what happened here? What are the measures of angle 4 and angle 5? Okay, so we know this angle right here is 99 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of indicate all the ones that are congruent to that 99 degrees. These are congruent to each other. We call these vertical angle pairs. Should have added that one in there. So those are vertical angle pairs. We'll just define it right here. Vertical angle pairs are when they're across from each other. Okay, so we've got this one right here and this one right here. Now the ones that look similar to that are this one and this one. And we can see that these are corresponding angles, that 99 and that 4 right there, right? So it's going to match there. And then this 99 and this 6, these are alternate exterior angle pairs, and we know those are congruent. So we've got this one right here. So these are equal to 99. So angle 4 is equal to 99 degrees. Okay. And then we're looking for angle 5, which is right next to it. So it's supplementary, right? So what happens here is you take 180 and you subtract 99 to get the other angle right here. We'll just use a calculator for this real quick. 180 minus 99 gives us 81. So angle 5 is 81 degrees. Yeah. You can see that this one is less than 90, that angle 5 right there. So boom, right there. And this one is a little bit bigger than 90, so at that 99. So that's kind of how you figure that stuff out, right? You can even throw a little bit of algebra in here. We have A, B, and C are parallel lines. What is the value of x? So we have x right here. And we have this angle right here is 75. So probably the easiest way is to just do corresponding angles. 75 is going to match here, and it's also going to match right here, right? Because since those are corresponding angles, we know they're going to be congruent, and then we know that these two are going to be added up to 180, right? So we take 75 plus x plus 25 equals 180. And actually, I'll do it a little bit differently. I'll say x plus 25 plus 75 equals 180. So I'll add those two together to get to 100. And then I'll subtract that 100 to get to 80. So x equals 80. That's not degrees, because 80 plus 25 would be 105 degrees. So x equals 80, just like that. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this in my notebook. But yeah, you don't need to see me do that. And there you go.